Hello, 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 beauties. Mo, the goddess here. So, I wanted to come on here and answer a question that I still often get after living here in Bali, Indonesia for the last 5 years. I guess since relocating and moving abroad has now trended. Recently, everybody wanting to leave the US. Now I'm getting this question more and more. And the question is, why did I choose to leave the United States and why I chose Bali? But I have a question for you instead. Maybe I'll get to answer your question again really quick because I've answered it 5 years. Okay. I've been answering the same question for 5 years. But the question that I have for you is, don't you feel like you being scammed? I mean, all of our life in the United States, they teach us to go to work our most strongest, vibrant years as hard as we can to try to make ends meet, to try to become rich, to try to, find success in that somehow, in some way. And many of us have not done it. Now, there are a few that are pretty successful, whatever you define your success to be. But I always felt like going to a job every day in and day out, especially me being a single mother and raising my two sons by myself and having to leave them. And then, in order to not live in poverty, to have a side hustle or a second job and spending so little time with my children, getting to know my children, doing things with my children, bonding with my children. I always felt like a job, this just can't be it. This cannot be real life, going to work day in and day out, and maybe having just a little bit of time to myself to catch up and do all the things that I want to do for me. Life can't just be about chasing a dollar. Life can't just be about working your fingers to the bone for someone else just to pay bills and barely get by. I've always felt like that my whole life. And I think that's why I set out to be an entrepreneur. One, because I'm very creative and I had a lot in me that I wanted to share, that I wanted to bring forth, that I wanted to create for myself and for the rest of the world. And I wasn't able to do that with the money that I was making as a single mother. It's funny how they tell us that your younger years, you work hard, you work until you're 65. Then you get to travel, and then you get to rest, and then you get to do what you want to do. In your 65-year-old body, oftentimes a lot of our loved ones, a lot of our friends have already passed on. A lot of our loved ones and friends are already sick. And you in your 65-year-old body, now your body is not performing the way that it once did. You don't have the energy to travel. You don't have the energy to work out. You don't have the energy to go to the brunches, the dinners, the whatever, the events as you did when you were younger. So to me, it just seemed like a scam. So I'm going to get to 65. And then maybe because a lot of 65-year-olds in the United States are not even able to afford to retire. Maybe when I retire, maybe then I'll get to do all of those amazing things that I've always dreamed of doing all of my life in my 65-year-old body. Let me tell you something. I'm 54 years old. My body has very, very little energy on some days. But I never wanted to get to the end of my life like I saw a lot of the women in my family retire and then they got sickly because now they're sedentary. Now they're not as active. Now they don't have the people in their lives to do the things that they want to do with. And I didn't want to sit around and wait on nobody. I didn't want to wait on anybody else to give me permission to live my life. I didn't want to uh, conform to what society says my life is supposed to look like. I didn't want to live in a box. I didn't want to be too old to begin to explore, to see the world, to experience things, to rest. And that's what I'm doing. And I think I made a beautiful choice for myself, and especially living here in Bali, Indonesia, because I am appreciated, I am respected, I am living in a nurturing country where all the things that make me feel like a goddess are here: nature, beautiful flowers, people bringing me my food, people doing my laundry for me, people cleaning my home. Those are the things that make me feel like a goddess. And I know that I would not be able to live this restful, peaceful, free type of life living in the United States. So when people ask me why I chose to move out of the country, I have another question for you. Why don't you? What is it that's keeping you there? Especially now. Like I said, it's a really big trend that people are starting to leave. People are starting to wake up. People are starting to realize that they can't beat the system, they can't win the race, and they are leaving. So, yeah, that is just to sum it up in a nutshell why I chose to leave the United States. And if you are someone who is interested in moving here to Bali, Indonesia, I have created a fabulous ebook guide, the ultimate one way ticket to Bali ebook that's going to give you all of the tips and the tricks that I learned to come here to find my place here confidently, as far as transportation, as far as accommodations, as far as visas are concerned. Like I said, I've been here 5 years, so I've had a few different visas. Um, and just knowing the ins and outs of the country, like what areas do you want to live? Bali is a beautiful island with so many different ecosystems. Indonesia in itself, beautiful country, so many different islands and ecosystems. Where do you want to live when you come here? Do you know? A lot of people just hop up and leave, and they don't even know how to do it. So they spend a lot of time and a lot of money trying to figure things out. And I've done it for you for the past 5 years. So, anyway, if you are someone who's interested in jumping ship while you can, living your life while you still have life, while you still have the energy, and start to experience the world, then I encourage you to download that ebook. And I encourage you, even if you don't download the ebook, get the hell out of there if your heart is calling you to do so. Now, if you love it, you're doing well, you want to chill, and you have all the reasons why you should be chilling, then by all means, do that. But for those of you who are being called to leave, now is the time to do it. Like I said, this is a trending topic. So many people leaving the United States right now. So, anyway, that's all. I'm going to end the video here. But in the meantime and in between time, until the next time, you be fit, be fierce, be fabulous. Healthy is the new sexy. Bye, y'all. And don't forget, for all your relocating to Bali travel concerns, Download my ebook, One Way Ticket to Bali, the ultimate A to Z expat travel guide. Or feel free to book a one-on-one call with me